Hello everyone. So yesterday took my hat off to all the single mums out there who are maybe possibly struggling like I did for part of it as my husband is fly in fly out. Today though I want to actually tip my hat off to the people out there who have chosen not to have children. You see, I'm actually an advocate of not having children unless you really want one. I've never been a very maternal person. I've never gone, oh, I can't wait to have children. I want my own little baby. No, I've always been kids, not really my thing. And I recall when I was growing up, and my sister, who has been very maternal, has said, oh, I want babies, but I don't think I like pregnancy and the sound of childbirth. And I actually quite like having experience. And my general rule of thumb is that I like to experience everything at least twice, because the first time you might form an opinion and the second time you cement it. So I jokingly said to her, hey, look, I'll be pregnant and have the child, and then you can look after it. Now, I wasn't actually being serious about being a surrogate, although had the need occurred for her, I probably would have done it. Definitely before I'd had Alicia, and who knows whether I would have done it more than once though for her. She's now happy with 3 kids, so good on her. Me, on the other hand, my husband and I were like, well, if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. We're cool with that. We have a number of friends who have chosen not to have children, so we would have fit in quite well had we not had child. However, she was a honeymoon baby, so I believe she was meant to be, and she's here to teach us a few lessons, and I know that I'm learning a lot from her. But I didn't actually have the best and smoothest pregnancy. I believe I was in denial for a lot of it. Definitely the beginning, I was in denial, and I didn't actually get the doctor's acknowledgement that I was pregnant until nearly 12 weeks. And I didn't have your conventional pregnancy that you all know about. Oh, morning sickness, isn't it shocking? No, I wasn't sick. So many people would say, lucky you, it's not fun. Well, I don't believe it would be fun. I did, however, have a lot of things go on in my pregnancy that they don't talk about, that you actually have to find out about for yourself. Some things are known, like the chronic fatigue. That drove my head mad. I had sinus headaches, which I didn't know about. I had these weird blood pustule things that were really itchy, but they just refused to clot if I scratched it. And just a whole bunch of other things that just did not make my time as pregnant all that much fun. And then, of course, childbirth is childbirth, and I'm sure many people have heard or know a lot of horror stories about that, so I won't bore you with mine. But yeah, I don't think I would necessarily have a second experience of that. So I've decided, and my husband is happy that we've got one child, and we're quite happy with leaving it that we're not going back for any more. So as much as I'd originally thought, siblings are the way to go, you've got to have siblings. Now I just think, sorry, sweetheart, you're an only child. You're surrounded with pets, most definitely. And she's got loads and loads of cousins. So that's all very good for her upkeep. However, having gone through that experience and knowing what it's now like, if I come across some friends who don't have children and who are wondering about it and that kind of a thing, I like to listen to what they have to say about it and why they might want to have children, and then kind of tell them the truth. And I have told 2 people, judging by what you've said, it may not be in your best interests to have a child. If you're not naturally maternalistic and it's not been your heart's desire, maybe you should consider just keeping pets or just carrying on with your life the way it is if you're happy with it that way. Don't just go down the path of having kids because, oh, you're female, it's what you were designed to do is procreate, or that's what's all about, is you're female, so you have to have children. Don't feel the pressure. Do what's best for you at the end of the day. And if that's not having children, good for you, because that may be in your best interests. And it's possible that if I knew now what I didn't know then, there's a chance that I would have chosen not to have children. This is not to say, of course, that I don't love Alicia. I think she's incredible, and I love her very much. I just do think that she has changed my life as much as I didn't want my life changed, and I did try to avoid that. It does happen whether you like it or not. So you do need to be prepared for that change in your lifestyle. Another funny thing I might throw out there, when just touching upon being in denial for most of my pregnancy, I was even in denial when I went into labour. I denied my waters breaking. I didn't really acknowledge that that was my waters breaking, and that is possible. It's not just a waterfall. It can be just a creek or even less than that. So don't go thinking when your waters break, you just have this massive gush. It doesn't happen that way necessarily. It may happen to you. It didn't happen to me. And I ended up texting my husband because he was away overseas at the time, and just said, hey, I'm going into hospital just to be on the safe side. It'll be Braxton Hicks. Don't worry about it. Yeah, lo and behold, we had the baby that night. So I guess I was in denial for what? According to the midwives, 14 hours of labour. I personally, again, don't agree with that summary. I would say that after my waters broke, I had about 3 hours in which there was nothing, and then real mild labour for maybe 6 hours. They called that stage 1, and it was not a drama. It was just like cramps, and then maybe 2 to 3 hours tops of the horrible movie style, oh my goodness, this is terrible, get it out kind cramps. So yeah, I was in denial of that, and that's an interesting sort of thing to acknowledge now. Anyway, I just wanted to put my hat off to those who have chosen not to have children. Good for you, best thing for you. I could possibly be there with you. So thanks for joining me today and listening to my little rant about don't have children unless you think you really want them. And I hope to talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.